Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools channel, and today we're going to learn how to use, you guessed it, shovels right here. They're simple, right? But guess what? There's a technique to it. So stick around and I'll see you guys right after this. Okay guys, I got three different types of shovels in front of us. Most of us are familiar with the one in the middle and the one on the right. But what about the one on the left? We'll talk about that in a second. But the one on the right is a digging shovel. I'm sure you guys know what that is, right? You can tell the difference by the shape of the shovel, okay? The digging shovel is rounded and it has a point on the tip right there to help you pierce the ground while you're digging. And many of these shovels today also have a footrest right here, right? On the other side as well, to help you press the shovel down into the ground with your foot when you start to dig. Now this right here is a transfer shovel, the one with the square shape. It's not really made for digging, it's made for transferring material from one point to the next. You know, like soil, gravel, sod, stuff like that. That's why the tip right here is flat. It's made for scooping rather than digging. Now this right here is called a drain spade. Look at the shape of it. It's pretty narrow, right? That's because it's meant for digging trenches for drains. Now these spades are great for digging trenches. As you can see, I dug one, a small one right here, but they're also great for slicing through the roots that you come across as you dig the trench. Let's get a little closer down in there. As you can tell, these are some of the roots that I cut with the spade. So what you would do is you would take the spade and just, as you come across a root or obstruction, like a root, you just slice it. This thing is pretty heavy, sturdy. It'll cut right through the roots. I think I saw another root down there. Here's a root right here that may get in the way, and you can cut right through that with the spade. See? Cut right through that root. Okay guys, so here's a couple of tips on how to shovel properly. First, you want to keep your feet wide apart, all right? And you want your front foot close to the shovel. And if you have to, use your front foot to dig into your load, like that. Then once you pick your load up, you want to shift your weight back to your rear foot. And then you want to turn your feet in the direction where you're going to throw the load. Okay? You don't want to be doing this. You don't want to twist your back or anything like that by not turning your feet with the load. And one more thing, guys. You want to make sure that you keep the load close to your body when you pick it up, okay? That's a safety precaution. Because if you have it out here, it's more chance of injuring yourself. So bring the load close into your body when you pick it up. Turn your feet and dump. Okay guys, I got one more tool to show you guys. And it's not a shovel, it's not a spade, but it's just as important. You see, after you do all the digging and shoveling, the ground is gonna be pretty bumpy, pretty lumpy, and you might wanna level that out. And that's what this thing is for. It's called a steel tamper, right? It's pretty much a metal plate on a pole, a post, right? I don't know, that's about what, quarter-inch thick or something like that. And you use it to level off your ground. So what you would do is just take it like that and level off the ground. Tamp it in. So it's called a tamper, a steel tamper. And you might want to pick one up if you need to level off some soil, asphalt, gravel, things of that sort. So here's a small tip if you don't want mud or dirt to stick to your shovel or your tamper or any digging device you have. You might want to put a light coat of floor wax or car wax on the shovel to keep dirt from sticking to it, okay? Just a small tip, guys. So there's a few things to consider when getting a shovel. Number one is the weight of the shovel. The lighter, the better, right? Something heavier is not going to be as efficient for lighter jobs like shoveling snow or sand or soft soil. But you may need a heavier, more robust shovel for materials like gravel or stone. So when choosing a shovel, it really comes down to what are you shoveling? Number two, the length of the shaft. Some people like longer shafts because it's better on your back, which is true in certain cases, but shorter shafts are better for transferring loads because it's more stable at the shorter distance from the load. Think of how short a snow shovel is. Number three, the shape of the blade. Now, we talked about this earlier, but once again, the material that you're shoveling determines this as well. Square blades are for scooping, materials like coal and gravel. Triangular blades like this one are better for sand and dirt. I mentioned earlier there's a few things that you can do to keep your shovels up. One of them was to apply a light coat of floor wax or car wax or some kind of lubricating oil to the blade to keep the dirt off. But you got to make sure that you clean the blade by washing it off completely and drying it completely with a washcloth or shop cloth before you apply any kind of lubricant. And if you've been shoveling chemical fertilizers of any kind, definitely wash that off because the chemicals will corrode the metal blade. Now, as far as sharpening your blades, hey, if you go on the internet, you'll see a bunch of methods. I've seen people use bench grinders. I've seen people use angle grinders, hand stones, hand files, sandpaper. There are a variety of methods to sharpen your blades. Just do the research and find out which one best suits you. And if I tackle that, that'll be on another video. Make sure you check the shaft and handle for any damage like cracks or splints, and make sure neither the shaft nor the handle is loose at any point. Okay? If it's a wooden handle, you want to make sure that you take some sandpaper and sand out any splinters or anything like that. Make sure the screws or rivets on the socket right here are tight. They're not loose because you don't want the blade to fly off while you're working, right? That could be pretty dangerous. Another safety tip, make sure that you contact your local utility company because you don't want to run into any power lines, cables, gas lines, or water lines while you're digging, okay? So guys, that was just a quick tutorial on shovels. But believe me, they got all kinds of shovels of all types that you never even heard of. Not to mention, they got snow shovels, which I kind of mentioned in the video. They got post hole diggers, which are a kind of shovel. So believe me, I just gave you a taste. But if you found any value in this, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. Helps the channel grow and reach more people. I will see you guys in the next one.